then talk to us about Generous Leadership Challenge. Give us the elevator, the elevator pitch real quick on it. Go ahead.
Oh gosh. So
You're on.
generous.
No pressure or anything, but you do the elevator pitch.
Well, can first I'm going to give a little bit of context. Generous leadership was the concept, and we own the IP and the trademark to Generous Leadership.
Nice.
And that has been owned for 7 years since we started Big Idea Project. And Big Idea has been in schools teaching this framework that I created. But Generous Leadership Challenge didn't start until COVID-19 came, because it was because of a solution that came that we created in the schools. I had people saying, you must launch this to the nation. You must give this to the world. And so the Generous Leadership Challenge is a multi-week experience for businesses, families, schools, and individuals to really take on intentional action so that they can shift their mindset around leadership. And generous leadership is a paradigm, not a style. It's a way of seeing and understanding the world around you. I define it as be a generous leader is abundantly giving of yourself so that others may be better people who do better work. And you cannot manufacture that. It comes from who you are. And so that's why it's a paradigm. You have to see and you have to believe, and from your belief comes your behavior. And generous leadership has 3 lenses: seeing yourself as valuable versus worthless, seeing people as people versus objects, and seeing your work as sacred versus ordinary. And so the GLC, the Generous Leadership Challenge, takes people through those 3 lenses to shift the way that they think and believe so that they can become generous leaders that people love to follow.
That's a nice overview, by the way. Good job on that pitch right there. That was nice. I like it. That's pretty solid. Walk us through the business. How's the business model work? So is it, and who's your client? Talk to us about that a little bit.
Well, this is different. So the Generous Leadership Challenge is new, and it launched as a gift. So there's no business model to it right now. It is a gift to the world, and it is funded by impact investors who write off the loans. It's not even a payback. It's just investing in a social good so that the people in America can start really investing in themselves and their families. So that's the route. That's where we're starting. And now companies are starting to take it on with their employees, and they're seeing a lot of results. I have other school systems, because right now Big Idea Project is only in Colorado. So we have other school systems across the nation who are really interested in using it. So I believe it will be the pipeline to future consulting and expansion for generous leadership in business and in education and in families. But that does not exist yet right now. It's just a free gift to the world.
I see. So Big Idea Project and Generous Leadership Challenge, they're both nonprofits. Is that
Nope.
accurate? No,
Generous
they're not.
Leadership Challenge is a for-profit that is funded by impact investors who would rather see social impact than return. Isn't that cool?
That's like somewhere in between. I don't even know how to describe. That's cool. All right. I like it.
Isn't that neat? It's generosity. It's just an incredible vision.
Is that the same tax write-off for them that a nonprofit donation would be? How do they do?
True generosity. They don't even want to return. They don't even want to write off. Isn't that amazing?
Well, I'm trying to figure out my next question based on that.
Maybe I should bring them on and you can interview them.
like what? Okay. Wow.
Isn't generosity? It's like generosity can be so mind-boggling, and I think it's one of the most powerful things that we have in humanity. I just think it's so incredible, so inspiring when you see a true generous heart, which is the whole point of generous leadership, is how does a leader give of themselves for the sake of another person? And
wow,
that's the leadership that changes the world. And we're flourishing. It's flourishing companies. It's flourishing families. And those people tap into potential that they never knew was even there to begin with. And that kind of leadership maximizes to a point that, it's just mind-boggling. So generosity is really at the core,
I'm amazed that you put that together. I didn't even know such organizations existed, right? That where people would just give money without some sort of benefit back to them, right? Whether it's a tax write-off or marketing or something. I don't mean to sound cynical. I'm just like, okay,
Isn't
I've
it
never heard of
amazing?
that before. Yeah, it's great. I'm really amazed that you put that together. Okay, so the funds are
It
provided,
will make money, by the way. It will make money someday. That's just the genesis of GLC and the
but
gift right now.
these people that are giving the money to get it started, they don't have equity. They're not getting equity.
Nope. The initial is just a forgiven loan.
You are the best cash raising person I've ever had on the podcast. I'm going to tell all the startup entrepreneurs that are trying to raise cash. I'm like, oh, look, just call Tricia Halsey. If she can talk people into, donating money without any kind of benefit whatsoever, you need to talk to her. Wow. Congratulations. I don't guess you can tell me how much you've raised or what you're on target for or anything. Can you share any details?
Well, I'd rather not for them,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it's small compared to a startup. If you're starting up a tech company or something right now, it's mostly a marketing campaign,
Okay.
getting the brand out, getting the word out. So
Okay.
that's where Lori comes in. Lori's team that you mentioned at the very
I've,
beginning
right.
is our team. We have a team of about 7 people through Avocet that are blasting this nationally,
Nice.
going on, news shows and so
Oh,
forth to tell.
okay. So I was pushing you on the business model. Let's get back to what it actually does for you as a leader. So, all right. So who's your quote client or customer? Is it Riderflex, my company, and our leadership team to come do this multi-week course? Is it families? Is it teachers? Is it all the above? Walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, I think where the confusion lies is that it's not a course and it's not
Oh,
a program.
okay.
It's just a framework. So I love small to medium sized businesses. So
Okay.
perhaps it's you guys, and you
Okay.
go on to the website and you say, I need something to facilitate deeper growth within my team and something that allows for authentic conversation back and forth. So you would go to the website and everything there is free right now, the whole framework. And it's just guides on how you would guide them through. We recommend a 7 to 8 week experience, but business owners, families, anyone, you can make it whatever you own or whatever you want it. And that's the beauty of it, is this open-handed generosity of I've been sitting on tools that are life changing as we've been doing them in schools. And now it's time that others have them. And someday there will be a more robust program where they can have me come in and do some consulting and training. And I have so many ideas around that. But right now it's just truly a free gift. And it's all on the website, generousleadership.org. Even though it's an LLC, it is for profit. Now I'm really confusing you.
That's okay.
So yeah, you can just go there and access it. I'll
Oh,
give you an example.
all right. All right.
There's a company here in Denver. They're called Footers Catering, by far the best caterer. I don't know if you've heard of them or not, but they're amazing leaders nationally in the catering space. And they have been using this with their team. And every week they come together and they talk about their goals around how are they taking care of themselves so that they see themselves as valuable. How are they serving one another and the people in their communities so that they're changing the way they see people, not objectifying, but humanizing, which is so, so important right now. And then how are they finding meaning and purpose in their work? And they come together and they talk about these things. And I'm hearing that they're getting amazing results. One guy has stopped smoking, and the team's coming around each other and keeping one another accountable. But as you can imagine, as a business leader, that kind of topic isn't really accessible in a typical meeting, right?
Right.
And
Yep.
now they're talking about it and they're growing closer and they're better for it. The team is stronger and therefore they can accomplish more than they were before.
Is the material in the framework, is that the same stuff that is being taught in your husband's class? And is it all kind of the same, or I guess it grew from there? I think that's what you said earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it was started under Big Idea Project. Well, with Big Idea, I've always owned the IP separately.
Okay. Okay.
And it is the same framework, those 3 lenses and the paradigm, and how to move people through is always experiential and it's leaning into challenge. Those are all the same pieces. But Big Idea project is like the program. So a
I
school
see.
would have us come in and we have much more robust teaching, and we train teachers, we put people on site, we measure students' growth. The students go out and they solve problems in the community. And then as they're doing the hardest work that they've ever done in their lives, the teachers are turned into coaches, not content masters.
Mm.
And they coach the students through paradigm shifting thinking as they do this experience. And then the kids present their projects and their results for the chance to win a scholarship. So it's a very robust program, but our focus isn't the social good that comes at the end, though that's amazing. We love it. They're going out and they're helping homeless. They're doing campaigns for human trafficking. They're stopping bullying in their schools. A lot of mental health, because suicide's so bad here in Colorado, teen suicide. So they do these amazing projects, but the goal is the growth of the person.
I see.
And that's this major paradigm shift in education.
Now,
right?
if I put the Riderflex team on this framework, is this everybody on the team, or is this just people in manager level positions? How would I
Whatever
do
you
that?
want to do. Whatever you want to do.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I want to hit you with a couple of things here. These might be tougher questions.
Oh,
You
okay.
ready? Okay.
Yeah.
My first reaction, I want to tell you what, this is just a straight up honest reaction to what you
Love
just
it.
told me.
Go for it.
As I studied your website and I studied you and I pulled up all the little YouTube videos you guys made, which I think are great. Now that you just told me that you're not involved and you're not leading any classes and I don't get to talk to Tricia and you're not like leading us through something, I immediately lost some interest. I was like, oh, well, I just have to do this myself. That's not as exciting for me. I don't know. That's because your passion comes out in the videos that you made and when you're talking about it. And I was thinking, wow, listen to her talk. Like, okay, are we going to go is she going to lead us through some stuff? I want to sign up for that. That's how I was feeling. And
Well,
so,
that's next phase. So I'm really happy to hear that, actually. But
okay.
this initial first phase really was in the context of COVID-19. And as families went into their homes and businesses were, remote and in their homes, how could we use challenge to grow and become better instead of be fearful, right? So it was this opportunity to shift mindset, and still is. And this will continue. I think it will be an annual thing that we will hit for the GLC because it needs to be accessible for everybody. But yes, there will be additional consulting.
Okay. All right. I see. All right. And eventually you're going to have to charge for this.
Yes. There you go. That's the business model.
Almost the same strategy as the person who gets a following on Facebook and Instagram for, I don't know, coffee cups they're making, and pretty soon 5,000, 10,000 followers. And they're like, oh my gosh, how do I order those? And then the person's like, oh, and then okay. You're getting it started. This is your jump start phase of getting some attention, some attraction, some following. I mean, by the way, your YouTube channel has more hits on it already than mine does. And it's only like 2 months old or something.
It's not even, I think it's like 3 or 4 weeks. We haven't, we just watched those videos.
Okay, Lori Jones. Lori, if you're listening,
right.
Riderflex needs a boost on that, by the way, because I just noticed Tricia's got more hits than us in like 3 weeks. The Riderflex podcast features entrepreneurs, business executives, and the stories behind how they got there, as well as daily tips on career advice and job interviews. Our show can be heard just about anywhere these days, but you can visit riderflex.com and click on the podcast page to hear all the previous episodes and learn more about the recruiting and consulting services we provide. Contact us at the email address info@riderflex.com or 888-964-5876. Thanks so much for listening, and if you enjoy our show, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and like the episodes.